Oh, sugar honey iced tea. It's the EAC Show.
Good day, ladies and gents. I'm Emilio A. Colon, and welcome to the EAC Show, coming to you from sunny South Florida. Marcus Mack and the big one, UCF activist, overall sports enthusiast Cameron Dinnan is with me on this podcast and call and video on YouTube. We're still
trying,
using the Zoom. Yeah, we're trying. We're still using the Zoom app, trying to get a hang of this with this whole coronavirus pandemic and the social distancing that we're trying to work on. Marcus Mack, this is actually episode 20. We made the last episode a special edition episode of 30 for 30. What kind of response have you been getting on that 30 for 30, Cam? What are people feeling about it?
People are involved, just like the sports movie post we put out. You know, they're dropping some hints, saying which one's their favorite, whether it's the U or a couple other ones that I saw mentioned. So not a lot of response, just simply because of what time we made the post. I think we posted it at like 11 o'clock right after we did the show. So we missed a good time frame for traffic on IG, but some good response on there.
Yeah, it'll gain traction over the weekend after people see it. Marcus Mack, what out of all of those 30 for 30s, which 30 for 30s is intriguing you the most that you might tune into this weekend?
It was definitely the U. You know, we're down here in South Florida, so a lot of people had stuff to say about the criminals versus convicts.
Well, those are two different ones now.
Yeah,
we have the U. The U is back, which is another one. So they did the U, which is the original documentary they did for the University of Miami that took place with the players. Right. That took place with the 80s players like Michael Irvin and some of the 90s. And then the second U is with the 2000s players like Sean Taylor, Clinton Portis. And then they did a separate one years later called Catholics versus Convicts, just based off the matchup between Notre Dame and the U.
The one with Notre Dame and the U, because that's the one that I bought. So that's the one. Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, you need to watch. Well, that one's good, but you need to watch just the regular U, because there's really, it's a top. I said it's my top football one. It really is a top 10 best 30 for 30 of all time.
I'm gonna keep it honest with you. I mean, in all seriousness, like that just shows how dominant the University of Miami was at football at one point. That's how
two
long.
Dynasties.
Yeah, that's how good they were. How long they were. Yeah, absolutely. They had. I mean, come on. They had more than just one. They had what's the name? Schellenbeckler. I forgot how you say.
Schnellenberger, who moved to FAU, started their program. They had Jimmy Johnson, of course.
Yep. And then they went to Erickson, and then they went to Coker.
Coker, right?
Yeah. So they literally were the epitome of college football at one point.
Now they're trying to get back there. They the last few years, I mean, they have yet to win even their division once the ACC was created. So they've been looking for prominence again in football. Hopefully they can get back there. They have a hometown guy in Manny Diaz as their head coach. And they've always been, the last few years, just been missing a quarterback. That was the final piece. And now they have De'Eric King, the transfer from Houston. So we'll see what they do with him this year.
Yeah, without question. I mean, I'm getting the same responses. A couple people sitting there saying, "Oh, you missed the Big East one. You missed Youngstown's boys. You missed this. You missed that."
We're gonna miss them. There's that many good ones.
There was some really incredible 30 for 30s, like some groundbreaking ones that talked about some influential stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, without question. I mean, right now, I'd rather watch that, to be honest with you, than see these marathons that they're putting on ESPN and other networks where they're playing 12 hours of this specific sport. I don't want to watch that. Like,
or throwback games.
Yeah, I don't want to watch that. I don't want to see that. Like, no, there's no reason for none of that. But there was some stuff that happened in sports, and we'll get into that a little bit later on. I mean, there's going to be some stuff that goes over the weekend, so that'll give us some stuff to talk about on Monday. Oh, not to mention, we didn't even get a chance to discuss Dak Prescott.
Yeah, that's right. We did.
Dak Prescott is on the verge, most likely, of becoming the highest paid quarterback in the NFL.
It's absurd.
Because the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott's representatives are back to the table to discuss a long-term deal anywhere between 4 and 5 years at $35 million a season. Cam, I already know how you feel about Dak Prescott. You can repeat what you say to me. Yeah. I already know.
Listen, he's good. I think he's a good quarterback. I don't think he's get the most money out of all quarterbacks in the NFL good, simply not only because his play on the field, it's good, but it doesn't warrant being the highest paid quarterback. And he benefits greatly from a good running game and the best offensive lines we've seen, probably the best in the NFL. So I'm not as bought into him as an individual as most people are.
He plays for the Dallas Cowboys, so he plays for America's team, quote unquote. So
yeah, America's team.
When you play for America's team, you got to be the face of NFL. So,
America's team hasn't won a playoff game in 20-something years.
There's gonna be a whole gang of people that's upset about that last statement you made.
I don't think necessarily that's his fault. I don't think necessarily that's his fault. Dak Prescott has been extremely solid. In all actuality, he's outplayed his contract. He superseded everybody's expectations when he got selected in the draft. So without question, he deserves a pay raise. I mean, if I'm his agents, I'm even fighting for more money. So hats off to them. I have no problem with homies getting their bread from the NFL because the NFL uses them. So I don't have no problem with Dak Prescott making his bread.
No doubt. I completely agree with you there. So I never want to say anything regarding that because who am I to dispute that? So get your money. But at some point, with all these great players that they have over the last X amount of years, Tony Romo and Dak Prescott, two great leaders. I mean, if you can't win a playoff game, I mean, I'm setting the precedent. If I'm giving you another 5 years, Cowboys, that's generous of me. If you still can't win a playoff game, it's been a long time, then you're stripped from the America's team. You get that stripped away from you, and it gets put rightly for the true title town in the NFL, which is the Green Bay Packers. That's America's team.
Oh, wow. Here he goes with the homer again.
We have the most NFL championships. First ever Super Bowl.
Speaking of the Packers, did you see Aaron Rodgers came out and said he almost got stuck in Peru because of the coronavirus?
Yeah, he just got out of Peru before they closed the borders. So that's pretty – I mean, you probably would have been fine in Peru. I wouldn't imagine there's too many coronavirus cases down there, but it is a third world country, a very poor country. So he probably was bunked up well in a nice little resort, I'm sure. But it was good that he was able to get out of there.
Yeah, his exact words is that the airport was crazy. It seemed like the movie Argo, to be exact. And had they not been flying private, he probably feels like they would have never got out of the country. They would have got stuck.
I don't doubt it. Do you see how about Doris Burke? Do you see Doris Burke? It's got the big C.
She tested positive. Now that you mentioned that, and Marcus Mack, I want you to hear this too, and I want your opinion on this too. Did you see how much coverage there's been on, Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell, Kevin Durant? There's so much coverage on these people that get the coronavirus. But then when these people are better and they're cleared from the coronavirus, you don't hear nothing.
Because that doesn't move the needle. We always talk about negative news moving the needle and bumping ratings. People don't want to hear that. All's better. All is quiet on the Western Front. They want to hear about the bad things.
So you're happier when the person gets into a bad situation than when the person actually recovers?
I wouldn't say happier. I don't think happier is the word.
Yeah, I don't think happier.
Go ahead, Marcus.
I think what it is the old saying, controversy sells. Controversy sells. So, of course, that's what the media is about. The media is about giving people the wow factor. So they want to hear oh my God, that's what's going on.
Right. Let me put it this way. This is a very simple way of putting it. If you hear that someone got cleared for coronavirus, all you need is like a text update. Oh, look, so-and-so is cleared for coronavirus. But if you hear that somebody gets someone contracts coronavirus, like a Tom Hanks, you're flipping the TV on. You're opening the computer. You're trying to figure out all the details around it.
It's sad.
You know what I'm saying? That's how it is.
It's sad. It's sad. It's bad. It's almost sitting there saying that you want to report more on the person's negative stuff or the downfall than reporting on the good things. This is retarded.
I know. My dad wants to create. He calls it. He's got an idea to create. It's called Good News, and it's pretty much just a news outlet that just tells you nice things. Nightly news on NBC, I think, or NBCS, or I don't know, one of those. With Lester Holt, they do a small segment. It's like 2 minutes out of the 30-minute program where they show something good. I mean, they know what moves what gets the agenda going.
I don't blame them. That's a really, really smart idea. Now, Cameron and Marcus Mack, you guys know since the very, very beginning, we've been on XFL big, heavy head time since the first week. And I'm just extremely happy for the amount of players that are being signed to NFL teams.
They're at double digits now, right?
They're past it. I'm gonna tell you right now, they're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 players in total that were playing in the XFL that signed with NFL teams. Hats off to all of you guys. Extremely happy for you guys. You know we're happy for Mr. PJ Walker, Mr. XFL. You know we're happy for him. But listen, it just proves that Cam, Marcus, we were on the right path. It was just unfortunate that the coronavirus cut this off.
Yes, we were pioneers, trailblazers, if you would, in regards to the XFL. It almost feels now like you're watching. I'm not your sons go off to, college. Go off to the big leagues in the NFL. So it's nice to see. We pretty much nurtured PJ Walker's dominance from the beginning.
From the very beginning.
Yeah, absolutely, without question. And I think there's going to be a lot more signings as well in the future. I'm just happy for them, man. Listen, they defeated the odds. They went the route that they went. They chose the right path, and now they're getting rewarded for their labor. And some of these guys might stick. Yeah, some of these guys might stick, and some of these guys might not. But at least they can sit there and say, "Hey, we made it there." Again.
Right.
Some of them again, and some of them for the first time. So that's really a good thing. That's a real nice story.
Yep.
Marcus Mack, I know you saw this and you looked up a little bit about it before the show had started. We talked about this, Cam and myself. Thank God for Dana White.
Yeah.
Thank God for Mr.
He's got sports on his back.
UFC. He is giving 2 middle fingers up big time, telling everybody they can go to where and back. And he's literally saying he's going to put on his UFC 249, not telling the media where the location is going to be. Let's just get it on. Let's just fight. Let's just make it happen.
Yeah,
and I love it.
Can we get 3 claps for Dana White?
Are we going to do it right, though? We gave him 3 claps?
Right, after you say ready.
Clap.
Now, I'm going to say it. So, ready? On 3. 3 claps in the rip, ready, let's go. That's how you're supposed to do it.
There you go. We're not even there, and we're getting that down. Perfect.
So, wait, hold on. So, can we take a second and check this and check out the Dana White rant?
I mean, you can. Go ahead.
Oh,
there you go.
Have the location.
The whole Barstool thing?
I know. I'm not telling the media anything. I'm not telling them anything, okay? Because every day when I wake up, there's a bullshit story, or somebody doesn't like this, or somebody doesn't like that.
Sugar honey iced tea.
What you think?
We don't give a flick.
Like or don't like. On April 18th, you either want to turn on the TV and watch this fight, or you don't. You don't even have to show up because there's not going to be any fans there. You don't have to come cover it. You either want to watch it or you don't.
Wow, I love that. Yeah,
Marcus
that is.
Mack, he said flick and he said sugar honey iced tea. Okay.
Yes, correct. Yeah, for all the listeners out there. No, but I love that. I mean, you were telling me a little bit before the show about that, so I'm glad to finally see it. That's Dana White, of course, speaking with Barstool Sports Ultimate Fighting and Boxing correspondent Robbie Fox. So that's good to see. I mean, he's on the trail that we pretty much have been talking on behalf of him the last few episodes of the show, is simply that he's just not going to back down.
Him and Vince McMahon are leading the way. They are literally like the old generals when the Civil War, you got the guy standing in front. He's like, "Follow me," and that's exactly what's going on with those guys right now. I'm dead serious. They're leading the pack. It's like William Wallace in
from Braveheart.
In Braveheart, yes. Freedom. That's exactly how it feels when I see
his dying
guys.
Word.
Yeah,
there's
exactly
guys like that who find opportunities in times like this tragedy. I'm actually reading a book right now. It's funny that we were talking about this. This is the book I'm reading. It's called The Power of Habit.
Okay.
And there's a line in it that I literally read today, and it says, all those leaders seize the possibility created by a crisis. Crises are so valuable, in fact, that sometimes it can be worth stirring up a sense of looming catastrophe rather than letting it die. So they're pretty
Marcus
much
Mack, Make sure you put that on the bottom in post credits, okay? Make sure.
I like that.
Put that, yeah. From the author is Charles Duhigg. But that's literally, I mean, think about that. They're finding opportunity in times of crisis. They're capitalizing on what's being given to them. They're essentially making lemonade out of lemons. So if you can take it from a business standpoint or sports standpoint, I think it's just brilliant.
Yeah, agreed. Without question, 100%. I mean, Dana White, Vince McMahon, they're old school. They want to do it their way and no other way. Nobody can tell them anything. They got that Frank Sinatra mantra in it. I did it my way, and they're gonna put on their babies, their fights and their WWE, and they're gonna let the fans watch it, and we're gonna have something to enjoy because right now we don't have anything.
Right, correct. You see the on a different topic here. You see opening day came and went.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was wearing my hat. I got my Blue Jays hat today on. I had my other Blue Jays hat on yesterday. And I'm trying to represent a little bit at least because
wearing my Anthony Rizzo shirt.
Yeah, baseball.
I just really like blue.
Baseball's a big deal for me. So Major League Baseball announced that once them and the union had come to an agreement on stipulations to return, so guys won't lose their service time. Maybe some games will be played at neutral sites to make sure that it's feasible economically. There's no travel restrictions between the United States and Canada, so players are going to be able to go back and forth. As long as the players as long as medical people can determine that there's no real health risk, baseball is going to be played.
Okay. I'll believe it when I see it, man, because I'm starting to get nervous now.
No, it's going to be played. It's going to be played. It might not be played with fans or whatever it may be, but it's going to be played. I mean, because you got to understand, like, baseball is a sport that other than the pitcher and catcher, you don't really have
no
close
contact,
proximity
really. Yeah.
distance. You have contact with your teammates, but everybody's going to be checked out and, tested beforehand or whatever it may be. So they'll be clear. But tennis is another sport. I saw Marcus Mack and Cameron that tennis is going to be played. They're saying, hey, we're going to play. Our sport is not close contact proximity. We could test everybody beforehand, make sure they're cleared, and we could just play the sport no matter what. Because that's true. Tennis is a far sport. You're hitting a ball to each other. You don't really come close to each other.
That's why I thought golf was going to be relevant in this time right now of no sports world, because other than maybe reaching in the same hole to get your ball after the hole is done, there's no close proximity between those guys. It's just you get the golfer and his caddy out there, and you just no fans allowed. I thought we would at least have that. So when the Masters was canceled, I said, "Wow, we really got something serious here."
Yeah, absolutely, without question. I mean, I'm happy that Rob Manfred is trying to make an effort to make sure that baseball gets played. He wasn't as defiant as I would expect him to be, but he did state that we're going to play baseball when the time is right, and it's going to be this season sometimes. Even if it has to be later on in the year, they'll push everything back. This part of the show is brought to you by ElCubanoSandwichShop.com. Use the promo code EAC and receive discounts on online pickups or delivery orders. Enjoy a cafe con leche or that natural pre-workout shot of Cuban coffee to start your day. The daily lunch specials and their steak sandwich is next level. Once again, use the promo code EAC. That's ElCubanoSandwichShop.com or 954-906-5110. Remember, use the promo code EAC. That's El Cubano Sandwich Shop in Coral Springs. Now, Marcus Mack and Cameron, as we were talking about Rob Manfred and how, he wasn't as defiant in saying that they were going to play. They are going to play, but he doesn't necessarily know when. We have Roger Goodell of the NFL, commissioner of the NFL, blatantly saying that the NFL draft is going to go on no matter what.
I like that. I think hopefully, obviously, this can be done over, computer, television, FaceTime.
That should be stopped. There's no reason why it's postponed.
I mean, look at us now.
But you have to understand it's a little bit different. So we started this not too long ago, and this is something that we're doing because we feel passionate about it, whatever it may be. These guys' whole career is to literally get their names called and walk up on that stage and shake the hand of the commissioner.
Yeah, I understand. It takes a little bit of the shine away from it. This is like your big day. This is kind of like, I mean, for any girl that thinks about her wedding day or whatever, for any young football player, they think about the day they get drafted. It's literally that equal. So I don't think there's really going to be, I mean, other than a little bit of the shine getting taken away from it, you see a lot of players. We talked about that offensive lineman, I forget who it was, that you
Joe
mentioned
Thomas.
a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, Joe Thomas. Not even there, just on a fishing trip while he got drafted. So everyone's just got to learn to deal with it. You know, have a camera inside, show your family's reaction. Hopefully it'll be better to, you know, for families, because, you know, you can't bring your second cousins to the green room, you know, in Rockefeller, Stadium or whatever, or Rockefeller Center in New York to do for the draft.
It's going to be big this year too. It's going to be in Vegas at the Bellagio with the fountains going off in the background. It was going to be
and the trolley that they were going to trolley the players over.
You can look it up on the internet. They were going to be on a boat, and they were going to bring the players from the boat, like on a ferry, to the stage.
Like a water taxi, yeah.
Yeah, like a water taxi. They were going to make this big extravaganza in Las Vegas this year, and unfortunately that won't happen. But at least Roger Goodell said no matter what, the draft is going on. So players are going to be able to get selected. There is no delays. It's going on as scheduled. And he was defining it too. And people were getting revved up, and they were getting so excited because this is what they want to hear. Not for nothing. Baseball is America's pastime, but baseball can be delayed and baseball can be pushed back. If the NFL or college football is pushed back at all, people can go ballistic.
Yeah,
we're going to have some serious problems. Yeah, baseball is the loyal old wife, and football is that sexy young mistress that we much rather spend our time with.
Unbelievable analogy. That's a sugar honey iced tea analogy, sir.
Appreciate that, everyone. Yeah, but I mean, that's really what it is. I mean, she's just a younger, sexier version of the sport. So, I
Marcus
mean,
Mack, you know what it is?
It.
You know what it is? He's on point today because he shaved. That's why he's on point.
I got the extra baggage on.
He's feeling frisky today.
The hair, the facial hair holds in the negativity and everything. I got that out of me now.
So, Kurt, but the only thing is, and this, I led with NFL, and now I'm going to get into college football. Kurt Herbstreit said today that he thought that the college football season is kaput. That he thinks it's finished. I mean,
don't even put that in the universe, Kurt Herbstreit.
I mean, he just speaking because he has two daughters. They're in college. They came home. He basically explained to them, listen, you guys are doing distant learning. He's like, look, the truth of the matter is these college athletes, they need time to get ready and time to get in shape and time to be ready for the football season. And he just doesn't see it happening at all.
I heard a coach come out and say that if we can get these players and we can start doing things as a team starting in June at the very latest, then we think we could be ready to go for the start of the season. So the time starts, now it's March 27th. You got April, May. You got a little north of 2 months here. So we're going to see what happens, but I would just be absolutely devastated if anything were to happen and if we get deprived of football. So we just got to hope for the best here.
What are you going to do without UCF football, sir?
I don't know. I truthfully don't know. Like I said, I always say this. I am a UCF homer, but I am a college football fan before anything. So I would be devastated just at the fact I watched the Toledo Western Kentucky games on Wednesday night, bro. Like I would be upset that I'm not able to watch anything. So
now, Marcus Mack, you are an honorary. You anointed yourself an honorary UCF fan. Remember that, right?
Yeah,
it's my boy right there. Welcome. Welcome.
So you riding with Cam when it comes to this Homer. You riding with Cam when it comes to this Homer stuff.
Yeah,
I'll back us up factually, but you got the moral support, Marcus.
Oh, so Marcus. Yeah, so Marcus is going to be your. He's going to be your Flavor Flav.
Yeah, he's my hype man.
Yeah, I'm down with anybody that's committed. Cameron is committed. He is committed. So I'm with you.
He's overcommitted.
I think listen, I think the only fans that I could never really be committed with is Knicks fans. Sorry. Knicks
fans, yeah.
They're a dying breed. I'll be honest with you, Cameron. I think that the Tell Them Why You Mad segments, if there's no college football on the EAC show, are going to be
take a ding.
Glorious.
Oh, you think they're going to be good? I mean, yeah, I'm going to be upset, but I'm just going to be mad about one thing, the fact that I can't watch football. How long did he do that for?
Yes.
Tell him why you mad.
Content.
Tell him why you mad, Cam.
Tell him why you mad.
I get it, but man, I would much rather be mad about some shit that's happening in college football than be mad about
honey iced tea.
I know.
This episode is already demonetized. Forget it. It's a wrap.
Speaking of college football, not to change subjects completely, did you see what Lincoln Riley came out to say, coach of Oklahoma?
What did he say?
He's complaining that the coronavirus rules among the Power 5 programs haven't been equal. They've been doing it not by overall NCAA implementing rules. They're doing it by conference. So some conferences like the Big 12 aren't able for any sort of player contact or whatever. And most other conferences like the ACC are able to have their players come into the weight rooms, are able to send them, equipment, things like that. So he was just complaining about that.
I believe that. But that's the NCAA for you. The NCAA always gets it wrong. The NCAA didn't cancel college basketball until the conferences threatened not to go to games. The NCAA, if they weren't the fact that they have a whole bunch of amateurs, and to me they're not amateurs, to me they're athletes. They're 100% semi-pro athletes. And semi-pro athletes get paid.
They're internships. Right.
Yes. They're paid internships. I'm telling you right now, they are not amateur status. You're making so much money off these kids and you're not giving them $1. I don't agree with that, not one bit. The problem is that the NCAA leadership is 10 times worse than Major League Baseball's leadership. Because the NCAA, Mark, whatever his name is, I forgot, Emmett, I think his name is Emmett, Mark Emmett, or whatever his name is, he doesn't know his right foot from his left foot. It's
corrupt. The NCAA is corrupt in so many different ways, not only financially, not only with how, they're dividing the money and ultimately splitting the pool of profits, but the fact of with the selection committee and all the flack that they get for all the teams that think they get snuffed, and they are the sports organization really in existence. I mean, we've heard it time and time again. Look what just happened with Trevor Lawrence and his girlfriend, the thing I sent you.
Yeah, they agreed to let him know. But let me rephrase that. That wasn't the NCAA. That was Clemson's department, and then the NCAA approved him from doing it.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So the opposite there.
Yeah, so Clemson decided that it wasn't a good idea, and the NCAA came in and said, nah, you could do this.
All right. Yeah, because I was about to say. Yeah, I did saw that news of Sam Ellinger. Ellinger, is it?
The kid from Texas?
The kid from Texas. He set up a GoFundMe for the same reason, for the coronavirus relief, and the NCAA approved that as well.
Hey, good for all of that, man. It's going to a great cause, Like, the NCAA would take so much bad press if they wouldn't allow these kids to use their platforms to be able to bring something to the forefront. Because there's people that need this type of stuff, man. There's not people that live check to check out there. There's some people that live day to day out there.
Right. And they're doing it off their likeness. How Colorado and California passed the laws to allow college players to make a profit off of their likeness. So if they're going to allow them to do that, they should, allow them to profit for a good cause off their likeness. So I'm glad to see that the NCAA did, make that right and set that up for them.
Without question. You also, what I realize, and what I'm noticing is I'm also noticing that, and Marcus Mack, maybe you can see this too, like they're always reporting on the bad stuff, like how we said earlier, and what moves the needle and what doesn't. I also see, and I want to applaud, and I want to sit there and say thank you for all the people that are doing the right things, that are socially distancing, that are following the rules, and that the CDC is saying with, staying away, or, I applaud those people as first responders. Thank you so much to all the nurses, the doctors, the police officers, the firefighters. Cam, your brother, Jordan, appreciate him, like literally everybody that's out there playing their part, we 100% thank you. There's so many people out there that don't get enough credit, and I appreciate them 100%. My wife is one of them. My wife is one of them. She's a nurse. She has to go to work every day, no matter what.
There's so many celebrities and everything that's even donating money to provide meals for people during this time. I was just looking at Kyrie Irving donating over $300,000 to provide meals for families that need it. There's a lot of good news, going on here. A lot of people that's helping, reaching out their hand to give, So.
No, yeah, just well said, Emilio. Obviously, with all this bad going on, there is still some good that's happening out there.
There's a lot. There's a lot of good. There's a lot of good.
You just got to look for it. That's it, and make it easier on these people that Emilio mentioned, these first responders, medical staff. Stay home. Make it easy. The more we abide by these rules that have been put in place, the faster this will be over with, and the faster we'll be able to sit on a Saturday in the fall and watch college football. I mean, that's what this is really all about at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was grabbing a couple slices of pizza for lunch this afternoon, and I seen a police officer that was having lunch in his car from the same pizza place. Made him roll down his window and said, "Yo, just thank you, man. I appreciate everything that you're doing." Because
awesome.
At the end of the day, they're risking themselves too more than anything else.
Yeah. They got to come with. They go to every call with gloves. If you call the police right now, even if it's to get like a civil standby or something simple like that, they ask you, is anyone there? If you're having any, fever, or, so they're making sure that they're very careful and not putting their cops in a bad situation. So props to them.
I mean, as soon as I saw the news about Doris Burke, how you mentioned earlier, man, I was just like, nah, man, not Doris. Not Doris.
Poor Doris.
You know what I'm saying? Poor Doris is like, she's
sweet,
like
your
that,
sweet aunt.
Yeah, but like she's like, no, she is. She's the girl when you were a little kid that you played sports with, and she got picked over the little kid that wasn't good.
Yeah, correct. Because they knew that she would at least show out, right? Yeah, I envision her as like that lady that works in the front office of your school. That was always nice. I think of her like that. But she's
Miss Johnson. Hi, Miss Johnson.
Right. Miss Johnson calls you in. She talks to you about whatever, and then she gives you a piece of chocolate on your way out. So I mean, shame. I mean, it's upsetting with Doris Burke. The news, obviously, she's the latest one to get hit in the sports world, but to see someone like that, a trailblazer for women that sometimes you flip the TV on and she'll be calling the games. So you don't see that a lot. So hopefully she gets better quick.
But on a better note, like we said earlier, you got Donovan Mitchell, you got Rudy Gobert, you got the kid from Detroit, and you got Sean Payton, who are all cleared now. Coronavirus free, pretty much. Hopefully they stay that way, and be able to do back to normal things.
Mm-hmm.
I saw
in due time.
I saw PJ Fleck in a YouTube video say yesterday on the Pat McAfee show.
Roll the boat.
Yeah, Mr. Roll the Boat. He said that people are so stuck on when are things going to go back to normal. Well, you know what? Nothing's ever going to go back to normal. There might be just a new normal that we have to get used to, which is a great analogy.
To think about.
Yeah, that's a great analogy. That's a great analogy. I mean, after I heard.
In your opinion, what do you think what's going to be our new normal? What do you think some of the things that we're going to adapt? Are people not going to dap each other up as much? Is there going to be,
I think Marcus Mack, and you could look this up when you get a chance, and maybe you could put it into the post-production edit. In Japan has been super, super on hygiene for the past 25 years in their country. Like, their subways are immaculate. They're big on their public bathrooms are usual. Like, if you go to a Publix, that's basically how you feel when you go to a public bathroom in Japan. Like, they literally been the epitome of hygiene when it comes to it.
I can believe that.
We just might have to adopt those things. Yeah, we might just have to adopt those things. Stop trying to cut corners on everything and cost cutting on this and that, and just literally focus more on hygiene and just cleanliness more than anything else.
Right. At this point, it's not about saving a buck. Let's start doing things the right way so we don't have something like this happen again. But Japan, I would love to go. That's one of the places I'd love to visit.
Marcus Mack, I promise you, that place, for what people tell me in the research that I do, immaculate when it comes to hygiene. Clean. They don't litter, like none of that stuff. Like, it's just shunned upon.
It's more to say than their cousins to the west there.
Yeah, they're definitely their culture there is so, like, I don't want to say advanced, but their culture there is definitely a lot different. The architecture they're building.
They're the leaders of the pack. They're the leaders of the pack. You could go look up the numbers and go look up how many coronavirus cases there are in Japan, and you're going to see very little. Why? Because they're big on hygiene. They're huge on hygiene. So I just think that going forward, I think that might be the new norm to where you press that as much as possible. So something like this doesn't occur to this magnitude ever again.
I have a question.
I just looked up.
Go ahead.
My bad. I just looked up coronavirus cases in Japan just to see if I can find a number. Didn't find a number, but the first article posted yesterday from the New York Times, Japan's virus success has puzzled the world. So we can't figure out how they're doing it, how they're able to keep their numbers so low.
They're just clean. They're just clean.
They got that 20 seconds, 2 times happy birthday hand washing on lock.
It's just instilled in them, man. It's their culture. That's just the way they are.
Yeah, if you go to cities like Nagoya and Kyoto and some of the other big cities in Japan, it looks like the future. Like it looks like Times Square on crack. It's amazing.
Yeah, because they don't have those. They don't really do too much the FCC regulations and this, that, and third. They always have technological advances more than we do. Because
it's a tech dynasty. There's nothing, there's no industrial. There's no manufacturing. I mean, it's all just tech, and I'm sure there's other cities in Japan that do certain things, but their big cities are on something else. It's futuristic stuff.
Absolutely,
that's the top 3 place I would want to visit.
Yeah.
What about you?
You know what? I just want to say this real quick because I was thinking, because I know the poverty level in America is extremely high. We are almost to maybe about 40 million as of maybe like last year or year before last. And I was thinking, what is the poverty level in Japan? Like there's not even like a lot.
Great question.
A lot of people like just running the streets, which I know they have
15.7%.
Yeah, which is up from 11%. You just checked out the same thing.
We're reading the same thing on Google.
yeah, definitely. So I compared it to the poverty, the poverty level in America, but there definitely a huge difference in numbers because we're somewhat 300 plus million people.
But I'll be honest with you, Marcus, Mack, and Cameron, regardless of whether a person is rich or whether a person's poor, that has nothing to do with hygiene.
No, it has nothing to do with hygiene, but considering the people that are on the street.
More resources to hygiene products, more education for how to stay, clean, and that all contributes to everything.
Now, I'm also wondering, because I know for a fact that some of these countries, especially China, South Korea, and stuff like that, they're going to try to figure out a way to get their sports going within the next few weeks because there's still a couple of leagues that haven't finished completely throughout the year. So within the next couple of weeks, those places are going to try to get these sports going. I know Japan's baseball league, too, is one of them.
I'll pray.
Let me get to this part of the show. This part of the show is brought to you by elcubanosandwichshop.com. Use the promo code EAC and receive discounts on online pickups or delivery orders. Enjoy a cafe con leche or a natural pre-workout shot of Cuban coffee to start your day. The daily lunch specials and their steak sandwich is next level. Once again, use the promo code EAC. That's elcubanosandwichshop.com or 954-906-5110. Remember, use the promo code EAC, and that's El Cubano Sandwich Shop in Coral Springs. So, guys, I think episode 20 is officially wrapped up. We covered the 30 for 30. We covered a couple of headlines. This is our F It Friday episode. We did have a couple of F-bombs and a couple of other stuff on the show. So we did
we're getting loose.
Yeah, we are getting a little bit looser than we usually do. So that is going to conclude episode 20. Make sure you check us out, episode 21. Marcus Mack, appreciate you. Cam, appreciate you. You guys enjoy the weekend. And make sure you click, like, subscribe, comment on all social media platforms. We appreciate the engagement. And we'll see you episode 21. Take care, guys.
Oh, sugar honey iced tea. It's the EAC Show.